It's Friday, the 11th of June. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. And yes, we do have a new theme tune. It was actually produced and performed by my son, Fred. So I hope you like it. Just a very quick note. We are broadcasting live to LinkedIn, but we're not broadcasting live on LinkedIn. So long story short, I changed the description to today's show as a result of which it broke the link to LinkedIn. So I've had to broadcast to YouTube and then bring the YouTube feed into LinkedIn. So if you're commenting on the LinkedIn feed, I'm not going to see it. So you're better off going over to YouTube or to Facebook. And my apologies for that. It's duly noted for the next time around, and we won't make that mistake again. We will get to the news headlines in just a second. But first, let's gaze to the heavens and see which stars are celebrating a birthday on this day of days.
Happy birthday!
And it's many happy returns to composer Richard Strauss, he of the waltz, I believe, to a man who largely lived under the sea, Jacques Cousteau, to comic genius Gene Wilder, and to American mobster Henry Hill, the man who inspired the movie Goodfellas. And a happy birthday to Mr. Frank Beard, ironically the only member of ZZ Top that doesn't actually have a beard. Happy birthday to you, one and all. The worst part of my job is reporting on demolition accidents and fatalities, and the most predictable part, sadly, is just how demolition accidents and fatalities play out. First comes regret, then comes speculation, and then often after a long and protracted wait comes reckoning, recompense, and retribution. And even while the regret still hangs in the air over the site in Gwangju in South Korea, where 9 bus passengers were crushed by a 5-story building earlier this week, that speculation is already underway. The local police have carried out a forensic investigation of the site and are now checking that the contractor followed local rules and regulations. But with the investigation barely underway, public anger is already growing. There is some suggestion that demolition workers may have actually evacuated the site minutes before the collapse after detecting some signs of instability. Furthermore, HDC, that's Hyundai Development Company, the contractor responsible for the redevelopment project, had not asked the local government in Gwangju to move the bus stop temporarily to a safer location during the demolition process. We will bring you more on that one as we get it, although I can't help thinking that maybe the local authority should have moved the bus stop regardless, but as I say, we will be following that one with considerable interest. Now, speaking of protracted investigations, you might recall that about a week ago I wrote to a number of MPs in a probably vain attempt to apply some pressure on the Health and Safety Executive to bring to an end the investigation into the case of the Didcot disaster. It's almost 5.5 years since part of the former Didcot A power station boiler house collapse, killing 4 demolition workers. Well, I received automated responses from all of the MP emails that I sent, but I've now heard back from an actual living, breathing human. And that human is none other than David Johnston, the MP for Wantage, whose constituency actually includes the town of Didcot. His message reads, "Dear Mark, thank you for your email. You are quite right to raise this, and I will write to find out why this investigation has still not concluded." Mr. Johnson is clearly a man of few words, and I'd be lying if I said I expected his intervention to miraculously bring the matter to a satisfactory conclusion. But all I can do in my tiny, tiny way is to keep the pressure on, which I will certainly be doing. Need to find the right button. So yesterday I received an invitation to attend an actual physical event over with our friends at Manitou. It would be a good opportunity, all things being equal, for us to reassemble the members of the construction collective. That's assuming I can find my heart out and assuming I can still remember how the outside word actually works. So I'm looking forward to this one, and it prompted me to look back at just some of the newest machines to roll off the Manitou production line. Machines like this. As I say, I'm really looking forward to that one. Good opportunity to get out the hard hat and the boots as well. So looking forward to that. And as you just saw from Peter Haddock there, Peter's going to be in attendance, and Nick Drew will be giving another outing to his brand new hard hat as well. So we'll keep watching this space because we'll be bringing you news of all of that in the coming weeks. The town of Brighton might be hip and groovy and filled with pretty young things, but nearby Lancing, how should I put this? It's geared towards an older demographic. The town is scheduled to get yet another care home, this one operated by a company called Hestler Care Group. That's Hestla, Hestler Care Group. But first, an existing care home on the Brighton Road requires demolition to clear the path for that redevelopment. If you're a competent demolition contractor and if you do like to be beside the seaside, then head on over to buildersconference.co.uk, where you can find out more about this project lead and many more just like it.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Who the hell is she? Look, if you do get any value whatsoever from these shows, please comment, like or subscribe, as that all helps the channel, helps us to keep it all rolling. So would be greatly appreciated if you could. And finally for today, those fine folks over at McGee has taken delivery of 10 new Scania L-Series tippers. The delivery will provide McGee with London's largest fleet of environmentally friendly Scania tippers. The Scania L-Series is a new low-entry cab series designed for urban environment applications such as local distribution, waste, construction, and obviously demolition as well. Its design qualifies for the maximum 5-star rating under Transport for London's Direct Vision standard, allowing McGee to operate safer right across London. These new trucks, as you can see, should be very easy to spot. They have a very smart, distinctive livery, and thanks to Transport for London's restrictions, they will probably be standing still when you spot them. Right, this afternoon I will be conducting a transatlantic interview with the undisputed queen of demolition, a lady called Simone Bruni. I'll be keeping you posted on that, and we'll be bringing that video very, very soon indeed. And then it will be time to make ready for the kickoff of the European Championships later this evening. Despite being in English to the very core of my being, I have long since surrendered any hope of the England team winning a trophy again in my lifetime. So I can watch all 51 games entirely objectively. So my mood over the coming weeks should be its usual heady mix of false cheer and befuddlement. I'll be back here same time, same place on Monday. If you missed any of this week's shows, then be sure to check out our Omnibus edition, the Weekend Wrap, which will drop here first thing tomorrow morning. But until then, have a great weekend. Stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues, and I will see you again very, very soon indeed. Good morning, Mr. Hatcher. Good morning, Mr. Drew. Good morning, Mr. Haddock. And good morning to the entire team over at the Builders Conference. Let's have a look. Not sure which one that you love there, Peter. We're throwing all manner of new bells and whistles at the show now. As I say, because we are now broadcasting when I don't press the wrong button. Now we're broadcasting over to LinkedIn. It was time to up our game slightly. All things being equal, we're about a week away from bringing a new sponsor, an additional sponsor, onto the show. But yeah, we do want to make things look and sound a little bit better. So new theme tune, some new inserts to go in there, and new transitions and that kind of thing. So it's an organic process, and we will keep improving as we go along. Just going to say a very quick thank you. Yeah, that's one of those weird facts that you hear it once and it just kind of sticks with you. The fact that Frank Beard is the one without the beard. Brilliant. Neil, thank you for sending over the details of that job in Lancing, not a million miles away from your hometown either as well. As I mentioned in the show there, not Lancing so much. I always used to describe Worthing as the elephant's graveyard because it was kind of where people went to die. Lancing, I think, is largely headed the same way, and there is a large population down there of care homes, and we're about to get a new one. So thanks for bringing that to our attention. Obviously, we've got a fair few demolition contractors on the south coast and in the south of England who will be absolutely perfect for that. So yeah, ideal time to bring that to our attention. Hopefully, if they pull their finger out, and if planning is given the permission that it requires, hopefully they will be out there while the sun's still out, so they can dig during the day and then go on the beach and dig a little bit later in the afternoon as well. So that'll just about do us for today. Thanks ever so much for being here, guys. Apologies for the screw up over on LinkedIn. I won't make that mistake again, and I'll see you again next week. All the very best.